doing my stretching right now because yesterday I think I injured my neighbors. So like, you guys request that I do this. So people say they want to talk to me while walking. It is currently raining, but it's a very soft rain. So I'm just gonna ignore it. Yeah, it's probably gonna cover my phone in like a misty rain. But left foot's not feeling good. What's up with that? We'll just walk slow then. Uh, Left foot's hurting. Dude, it was hurting yesterday. Did I do something to it? I think I hurt my left foot yesterday. Okay. Maybe if I start walking, the pain will go away. Probably not. Hello, Sam. Hello, Francisco. Hello. What's his name? Heh. Hello, Heh. So, we are now doing our hour walk. I'm thinking when we get that spot in the walk where the internet goes down, we'll just turn around and walk all the way back. So no blind spots anymore, because the blind spot's really not very fun. They're awake. You can see the lights on. Who knows what they're doing? It is currently raining. It's a very light mist. All I see is black. There's no light outside. And I'm doing it every day. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I already walked 20 minutes today because when I wake up, I start walking. All right, we're at hill number 1. Ready to go up hill number 1. Hi, Lol. It's almost 3 a.m. where I'm at. Don't know why I'm awake. So you're like in California or something. It's 4:50 where I'm at. It's 5:50 in New York. And it's about 10:50 in the UK. All right. Going up the hill. Walking up this hill the last week so far. I think my leg muscles are getting stronger. Man, I hate the UK. Why? Why do you hate it? What's up, disappointed? I'm heading to work. Mr. Tyler. Nice, man. What do you do for work, Tyler? Starting to breathe harder. It's like climbing an endless step. The heavy breathing gets me hot. Not me. Means I'm in pain. Okay. I work railroad. I'm a conductor. What? Wow, cool, man. A conductor, that's cool. I didn't know that. Awesome, you're taking morning walks? Yeah. If you're like me and you play games and you collect cards, you probably sit a lot. You will die young for sitting too much. Gotta start walking, guys. There we go. Top of that hill. That didn't even seem difficult. Just getting easier, that's why. Can hear an animal in the woods next to me. Oh, okay. That's really cool, so Gil. I need this motivation to work out daily. Yeah. It's most oh, huge deer in front of me. They're running. I don't know if you could see them moving around like shadows in that light. Most of your problems in life are just that you procrastinate. You know what I mean? Nobody talks about how bad procrastinating is, but it's really bad. Procrastinating really stops you from succeeding in life. Some of the most successful people are just people who don't procrastinate, and that's it. They just get up and do everything. Couldn't even explain why. They just have the energy for it. You know, they just have the discipline. Oh, very misty out here. Very, very misty. Be careful out there. I sit a lot. Maybe I should start walking more. I swear from stepping into my truck. Well, I read that truck drivers are some of the people who suffer the most health consequences from sitting too much. The health consequence is going to be a heart attack, by the way, heart attack or stroke. Your circulatory system, when you sit, your circulatory system fails if you sit for too long. If you think about humans in the past, we almost never sat. You know, it's only in the last 100 years that we sit this much because of the internet, because of TV, because of video games, and because of jobs where you sit. Those jobs didn't exist in the past, right? Before the automobile, 100 years ago, before the automobile, you probably worked a labor job. But, you know, 2,000 years ago, kind of like what Liver Kings actually said, ironically, we were way more primal. We hunted, we farmed, we were out in the sunlight, we were getting lots of exercise, and our whole system's kind of designed around that. We evolved for that. Now we do a new thing where we sit all day. We didn't evolve for that. And so our bodies can't handle it, and it's very comfortable, right? Sitting is actually comfortable. People prefer to sit around, but it's going to kill you basically. All the doctors agree, all the scientific studies agree, sedentary lifestyle will kill you. It's like they compare it to smoking. That's why they say sitting's the new smoking. So this is it for me. From now on, I have to walk an hour, and preferably an hour and 40 minutes. I don't play. I don't go back to sleep. I don't basically get to enjoy life as much because now I have to walk. It's basically a requirement. And I'm forcing myself to do it to better myself. And that's the hardest thing in life. And that's why I'm doing it, because whenever you do something difficult in life, it improves your life. You packing? No. Still here, mister. What's up, golden boy? Hello, Slowpoke. Francisco says, I swear you always teach me something new. Mister, are those shadow creatures following you? I assume that they're friendly. But anyways, so your ancestor, who you got your genes from, he probably traveled on his feet, I don't know, 8 hours a day sometimes, right? If you're a hunter, definitely. If you're a farmer, definitely. You know, you farmed all day long, and then you have just enough time to go to sleep so you can wake up and get back to farming. And that would be just enough work to survive the winter. And, oh, this guy's awake. This guy in here, he's awake. There he is. Walking around his home. The house is for sale if you want to be my neighbor. You want to be my neighbor? You can be my neighbor. I'll let you swim off the dock. I don't care. So anyways, but now you might exercise as little as 20 minutes a day. But the worst people like myself, zero exercise. The most exercise that I did was I stood up in the morning and I got a donut. And I've been doing that for years. That's the most exercise. Get up, get a donut, and then watch myself gain weight all year. And I wouldn't gain a lot. I'd gain like 4 pounds a year. That's 40 pounds in 10 years. It's a lot of weight. But worst of all, even if you don't gain weight, it's so bad for your actual circulatory system, your heart. You're just beating your heart up. So I'm not doing that anymore. For me, it's really important that not only do I make money, but I live long enough to enjoy it. How much? I don't know. Streamer content house. Health is wealth. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I saw a really fascinating statistic since we're talking about health. The statistic pointed out there are actually fewer people in the world at my age with abs than there are millionaires. So there are more millionaires at my age than guys with abs. It's more rare to have abs than it is to have $1 million. That's how rare abs are, like a six pack. Right? I don't have a six pack. I'm fat. And that really hit me. I'm like, wow. I'm really not that successful if I'm so out of shape and gonna die younger or gonna have health symptoms younger as a result of my lifestyle. Sure, I got $1 million, but so do a bunch of other people. But what I don't have is good health. So again, this has taken a high priority for me in life because that's what all the studies say. Not good for you to have abs. I've heard that. My fat ass thought you said cupcake. Mr. About to be a millionaire with abs. Body needs fat. Well, women's bodies need fat, by the way. Men's bodies do not need as much fat. So that's not true. But yeah, it's, getting real extremely skinny can be bad. You have $1 million, mister? Cash? No. Cash? No. I do not have $1 million. I wish I had $1 million of cash. This workout, starting to feel it now. We're 12 minutes in. No, I do not have, but I got a lovely lake house with about $150,000 of equity in it, and another lake house with probably about $150,000 equity in it. So that's pretty good. Then I have a bunch of Pokemon cards. If I sold all my Pokemon cards, I don't know, I'd have a bunch of money. I don't know how much money. Maybe $1 million. But I don't know. It's easy to think you can just cash it into, but you gotta actually sell them. And Pokemon cards, they're hard to sell quickly. They sell slow. Unless you're gonna drop the price by half, right? So, but then I don't make much money. Maybe I lose money. So, you know how it is. But over time, I could be a millionaire over time, sure. But I don't own the houses. The bank owns them until I pay them off, so. Are you close to $1 million? No, I'm not close to $1 million. Would you like me to be? You want me to be close to $1 million? Order some more cards, man. Do you own $1 million in assets? Well, again, so if you put my two houses together, that's like $300,000. But I don't own the rest of the home. The bank does, technically. So no, I do not. Although I theorize that we bought our second lake house way under the market price. We got it for $650, and I think it would sell at $900. And that the person who sold it to me sold it wrong. They didn't even take a picture of the lake right away. Terrible real estate agent. It was a daughter and a brother who had inherited it, and they were just getting rid of it as fast as they could, I think. And so I got it at a steal, and I think I got it at $650. But even a conservative estimate suggests I should be able to sell it at $900. Now, if that's true, and I sold it, I'd have way more money. But I don't want to sell it. I want to live in it. So it's only hypothetical money. And so you could say I have a hypothetical amount of money, but that doesn't mean anything. You want to be a millionaire, you gotta have cash. $1 million of liquid assets. A home's not a liquid asset. Just like Bitcoin's not if you own $1 million of Bitcoin, you don't own $1 million. You have to sell the Bitcoin first. So you can say, look at my Bitcoin, it's $1 million. But then next week, Bitcoin could crash. So you have a hypothetical $1 million in Bitcoin. Same with Pokemon. Oh, it's raining on me. You inspired me. Now I'm a streamer and made 100K. Really? Sorry, wiping some of the water off the phone. Can you grow weed? Yeah, you can grow weed in Missouri now. There's a legal limit. I think it's like 5 bushes or some shit like that. I don't know. Maybe I should be growing weed, selling it to you guys. Mr. TCC, specialized weed. And what I'll do is I'll fertilize the soil with Pokemon card pulp, but I'll buy like holographic Charizards, blend that into a pulp, and fertilize the ground with that, or the pots or whatever, I don't know. Here we go, really big hill here. This hill's gonna kill me, dude. So I'll fertilize the soil with a base set holographic Charizard that I blended up, and I'll call it my own special Charizard blend. Does your wife own assets? Yeah, with me. That's it, with me. She gonna take all my, she gonna take half the cards. No, our relationship's pretty good, by the way, if you didn't know that. I think if she quit her job, she'd be very, very happy. But I think her job's stressing her out. I think another thing's stressing her out. She doesn't get to see her family enough. Other than that, I feel like we're pretty close. You never know. People could break up, right? Yeah, our relationship's going pretty well. Well, mister, who's that behind you? Oh my God. The killer. Weed grown in Pokemon bulk. That'd be funny. I love this little resort. You could rent this. Go to their website. If you rented this, you'd be down the road from me. Don't do that. Rent my lake house. Oh no, that sounds like it's about to rain harder. Is it gonna rain harder? I don't want it to rain harder. Nope, okay. Nothing like hearing Mr. Pant in the morning. I just hired a shipper so I can stream twice a day. Great investment, eh? Now, are you just teasing me or are you being serious? This hill's so steep. Kicks my ass every time. Feel my heart beating like crazy. Just got covered in a spider web. What did you have for dinner? Well, believe it or not, Pizza Hut. I didn't eat much though, okay? It's for my wife, she wanted it. Mr. Heavy Breathing, getting me all hot and bothered. I know you guys are teasing. Oh my God, dude. Okay. I hate the animal noises in the trees. It's creepy. Mr. Cutting up a bit. Sorry. Okay. We're getting close to the top. The hill levels out. Oh, we're still going uphill, but it's easier now. Time to start driving. Have a nice day, Tyler. Okay. Okay, good. Not as dark as yesterday. I can just barely see in front of me. Yesterday it was pitch black, like walking in a black tunnel. Today I can see the sky. So that is nice. No foot pain for now. So we're good to go for a full hour, I think. Still going uphill. This is a crazy hill, man. Are those bobcats? What made you want to start walking? Looking at myself in the mirror, weighing myself, knowing I needed to make changes. It all started with me eating less sugar, by the way. I stopped eating sugar like 2 or 3 months ago. That's a big change if you're like me and you appreciate dessert. Always had a donut for the morning, always had a cookie for dinner, right? It's tough giving those things up. Occasional bag of candy. Can you hear animals in the woods? They're probably deer. Definitely not bears or coyotes licking their lips looking at me. Could be wild dogs. A lot of dogs out here. I hear a bird, it's so pretty. Are there bobcats? Most likely, yeah. I'm buying vintage seal product. I like holding it, not even a temptation to open it. Nice, man. Good for you. By the way, vintage product wasn't my best performing asset of 2022. Vintage changed relatively slowly. Didn't really go up, just kind of stayed the same. The one thing that went up, Evolving Skies. Went from about $140 a box to like $350. It's like winning the lottery. It was so much money. Because I think I had like 6 or 7 cases of it or something laying around. If I'd known, I wouldn't have bought anything else. But that's the problem. You don't know what's going to go up in hindsight, so it's all a game. If you're like me buying cards and stowing them away, you're not a lot different from somebody opening the packs. It's all a gamble. You should start doing 100 push-ups. No, I'm not ready for that. It'll make me not want to walk. All right, so we're going to lose connection here, and I will be missing for about 3 minutes. This is a blind spot. So we will not be able to talk to each other for about 3 minutes. If you wait for me to return, I will be back. You have to wait about 3 minutes, though. So I hope you guys will keep me company and talk to me about whatever's on your mind. It could be Pokemon cards. It could be politics. It could be philosophy, religion. I don't care. You can ask me personal questions. I don't really care. But we are about to lose connection as we get closer to these trees up ahead. We lose connection here every time. How much have you lost so far? It looks like 11 pounds. I think I've lost 11 pounds. All right, I'm just waiting for that dead spot to kick in. Good night, mister. You can make it to the top. I believe in you. Yeah, I'm trying to see exactly where it kicks in. Are you guys still there? This is where it definitely disconnects. Extra live pog. What's up, Alex? We're about to disconnect, Alex. I'm about to lose connection. Do you eat honey and things with natural sugar? Eat fruit, blueberries. I don't know if you can hear me even. I don't know if we're still connected. Well, the clock's still going, so I think we are still connected. Can you guys still hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. I think you... Yeah, so when it comes to sugar, what I definitely don't eat is dessert. No cookies, no candy, no cake. Trying to lose weight. I learned this from the MyFitnessPal app. It's a great app. If you've never popular MyFitnessPal, who's heard of that? So I have been gaining weight over 10 years, and I've never liked it, but I've just never been motivated enough to fix it. And of course, now I am. But so in the past, I've tried to diet, and I used an app called the MyFitnessPal app, and it set a calorie goal for me, and I was trying to be in a calorie deficit in order to lose weight. And still here, just remember that those that aren't accurate, those aren't accurate. I use that app, helps me track my calories. Right, so one of the tricks I learned was that I could kind of eat what I wanted, mostly what I wanted, as long as I didn't eat a few things. Don't eat too much oil. That'd be butter, olive oil. I good for you though, but like butter. I used butter in cooking. I was surprised to learn that butter is one of the densest calories you can consume. So I said, all right, we're done with butter. No more butter. And then candy, cookies, cake. I was shocked to learn from the MyFitnessPal app that a little checkout lane M&Ms was like the caloric cost of a breakfast of eggs and sausage. I was shocked to learn that because I eat the M&Ms like it's a passing afterthought. Yeah, I just pop them in my mouth and I'm done, right? So I eat them very quickly. They don't make me feel full. They're literally like alcohol for me. And that's how I view sugar now, by the way. I view sugar as the same addiction as alcohol. So if you can be alcoholic, you can be a sugarholic, okay? I view them exactly the same. So I was a sugarholic, and I always had a dinner, and then I'd always have a dessert with that dinner, like a treat. I'm like, hey, you're getting yourself a treat. You deserve it. You worked hard today, right? Just like that. I like it when I eat candy. It puts me in a good mood, just like that. By the way, that's why alcoholics drink, puts them in a good mood. So I viewed sugar just like that. So when I started using MyFitnessPal about 2 years ago, I'm shocked to discover that candy is one of the worst calorie foods you can eat. All dessert is made out of oil and sugar, basically. And it is the most calorie-dense food in the world. And when you eat it, you surpass your daily caloric intake by like 1,000 or 2,000, like that, instantly. You buy a cake and you share it with like your wife or something. You're like, hey, have a slice of cake with me. We're just celebrating. Yeah, you're celebrating eating 4,000 calories because you had one slice, then you had two slices. Then it's middle of the night, you have a third slice. Hey, it's the next day, let's have a slice of cake. So cake, candy, cookies, cereal, sugary cereal. I was shocked by how much I learned from the MyFitnessPal app because it taught me what the most calorie dense foods were and what the most calorie efficient foods were, like eating white chicken breast, no seasoning, no butter, right? Yeah, it's salt, right? But you don't want to cover it in oil. You don't want to fry it, which I love fried chicken. I love it. Love fried chicken. But all that oil, all that saturated fat, bad for your heart, very high calorie. So you just got to eat some simple baked chicken with some decent seasonings on it. But you can't cover it in oil, which is what makes everything taste good, it turns out. Another food, cheese. Cheese is one of the most calorically dense foods. And we eat it with everything. Hamburger, cheese. Pasta, cheese. Pizza Hut, cheese. We put it on everything. That's because cheese is just butter. That's all it is. And like I already told you, butter turned out was the highest calorie food. So I had to cut out all cheese. I had to cut out all sugar. Once you reach that point, you can just mostly eat what you want. Have some eggs, have some chicken, have a steak. Then there was one last thing. Pasta and bread was the last thing. You kick those out, so all you have left is vegetable meat and fruit. Then you're eating like your ancestors used to eat, and you eat a normal number of calories. All right, I'm gonna read your comments now. You're not my mom. Jason says, I limit to 23. Do you carry a stick? Mister, I eat what I want, staying within a calorie limit. Only girls watch calories. Candy bars are 300 max. I had a QPC breakfast. First time I've been on one of these lives. Mr. Deep breathing makes my pee-pee tingle. Have you talked about Jordan Neely thing? I don't know what it is. You have to tell me about it. We're going uphill. I'm gonna take it slow because I've already had my butt kicked. Big Macs are life. Yeah, you can eat a Big Mac, but the buns are pretty bad for you. And the cheese is pretty bad for you. And the meat's pretty low calorie and high sodium. And that's why they say fast food kills you. But I'm guilty. I love it too, just like you do. They said colon cancer will be the #1 cancer in the future. Did you guys know that? Colon cancer. Cancer of your intestines. They believe it's because of what we eat. And they believe it's because of a sedentary lifestyle. But obesity contributes to all cancers. Did you know that? And sugar contributes to all cancers, just like alcohol. Alcohol contributes to all cancers. Sugar contributes to all cancers. Okay, there we go. Wow, I handled that hill pretty well, considering I've already climbed it once. Butt cancer. Yeah, well, intestinal cancer. Okay, it is raining, but it's a soft mist. How many miles is this walk? Dude, I don't know. Am I like right next to a rain cloud? Whew, okay, we're going downhill now. Downhill's easier. Yes, so no more Pop-Tarts for me. No more morning donut. I love morning donuts, by the way. It was like a ritual. I have a morning donut and coffee, right? Or an energy drink, one or the other. Energy drink's gone, donut's gone. And now I'm walking an hour and 40 minutes a day. Today will be an hour and 20 minutes, but that's all right, because the outdoor walk is a much more difficult walk. So I count it as like a little over an hour. Do you see the silhouette of a deer here? Can you see him? Just staring at me. He's right there on the side of the road staring at me. See you later, Mr. Possible. Good going, Mr. Healthy Life for the win. Yeah, well, not just healthy life. I don't want to die of a heart attack. I don't want to die of colon cancer. I don't want to die of any of these things until I'm 75 or whatever the average age is for men, 72, I don't know. When I'm 72, God can take me, I don't care. But if I'm dying from those early, I'm going to be disappointed. And it might happen. People get unlucky. Sometimes it's genetic, I hear. But here's one thing, actually, I didn't mention this. Here's one thing that got the ball rolling for me, by the way. I heard that my dad had open heart surgery. And I don't talk to him, but one of my siblings told me in an email that he had open heart surgery. And I said, oh, so I'm next. I'm next. Give me 18, 20 years and I'll be him next. And I told myself, why wait to get fit after you have a heart attack? Get fit now and prolong the heart attack. You know what I mean? Or put it off is what I mean. So a lot of people make this mistake where they have a heart attack and then they lose all their weight. They get all the way healthy. But a lot of people just die from the heart attack. So they don't even get a chance. And after you've had the heart attack, by the way, your heart is damaged after you've had the heart attack. Your heart muscle dies and your odds of having a second heart attack are much higher now. So a lot of people, kind of like going to the dentist for your teeth. Birds, so cute. People get bad cavities, then they go to the dentist, they get it all fixed. It's really painful, you feel really stupid about it. You get a big bill, it's really expensive to have bad teeth. It's really painful, now your mouth is full of stuff. Now you got this cavity that's an inferiority to your original tooth. You got a filling, I mean, or a crown. Those are inferior to your natural teeth. And all you had to do was brush. All you had to do was brush and floss, but you don't do it. And so I consider it a serious human flaw to not want to brush. But we all are guilty of not flossing or brushing from time to time. Oh, that's a car. Somebody is going to work. One guy I worked with had 2 previous heart attacks. The third killed him. Yeah, exactly. So my thoughts are that instead of getting a heart attack and then losing all my weight, I should just lose all my weight and not have a heart attack. That's very good logic. But it's funny because people usually aren't motivated by logic. They're motivated by emotion. That's why after you've had the heart attack, after you've almost experienced death, you work really hard at getting healthy. After you get cancer, you work really hard at getting healthy, not before. So it's always after you get cancer. It's always after you get a heart attack. I'm trying not to do that. I think that's the same neighbor who stopped last time. That's the neighbor who offered to give me a ride. He offered to give me he thought I needed hitchhiking the first time he saw me. You should play Pokemon Go. One guy I worked with, 2 previous heart attacks, third one killed him. He was 65 and very obese. Yeah, because, by the way, if you did not know this, obesity is linked to your heart, like your circulatory system, sugar and fat and your heart, they're all connected. So you don't want to stay obese if you are considered obese. But consider this, 50% of Americans are expected to be obese in just a few years. 50%, not fat, obese. So we have a real pandemic, an obesity pandemic. COVID came in. I would say we reacted very strongly to COVID. We politicized COVID. COVID was all we talked about on the news. Everyone was aware of COVID. We sold billions of vaccines. Meanwhile, we have a real disease that kills everybody called obesity. And the number one killer in America, it's not even cancer, it's heart attack. You are more likely to die from heart attack than anything. And it's related to your sedentary lifestyle and obesity. So I can't let my life fall into that. I gotta fight it and I gotta get fit. I gotta lose all this weight. No more candy, no more sugaraholic or whatever, dessertaholic, no more of that. I don't wanna be an alcoholic. I never wanted to be one. I didn't wanna be a smoker. I didn't wanna be any drug doer, right? Then I realized sugar is one of the drugs. So now I'm not that anymore and I'll never go back to it. And no more sedentary lifestyle. I don't wanna just be another statistic. I wanna enjoy all the money I'm earning. Hopefully I do. I'm blessed, I'm lucky if I do. But I may not if I'm not healthy enough, if I get unlucky too. I gotta eat better. I'm so bad at it. It's tough, man. You should join me because sometimes it's easier when you're talking to other people about it. One of the tricks I learned when I was working at Coca-Cola and listening to all those books, there was a business guy who writes books. And he had this really smart observation. He says, you're really only capable of thinking at one thing at a time. He said, your brain really focuses on one thing. Okay, and so if you're talking about health, if you're reading about health, if you're obsessing over health, you'll get healthy. So you have to start reading the literature now. You have to start watching the videos now, and it will make you want to get involved. But mostly the only thing you see are commercials. Have a Snickers. You're not yourself when you don't have a Snickers. Yeah, I am. And when I eat Snickers, I'm obese. I'm actually more myself when I don't eat Snickers. So what gets put in front of your face are advertisements for you to be a sugarholic. What doesn't get put in front of your face is the image of all the people dying of heart attack. You ever watch that? Go watch some of that. It will really help you. Go watch someone having a real heart attack. You can find that on the internet. They'll start gasping for air because their heart's not pumping air anymore. Their heart's not pumping air. So you think heart attack's like, ugh, like, oh, I have a pain in my chest. No, you're drowning. You're surrounded by oxygen and you're drowning. Your mouth opens up, it hangs open. you start gulping for air, but you can't get any oxygen because your heart's failing. That's what a heart attack looks like. And it's so awful to watch. And it's not inflicted onto you. You know, it's not like a machete attack. It's not like a burglary. It's not like a robbing or a murder. It's you doing it to yourself because all you did was eat candy. And that's what I've been doing, and I'm quitting it. I'm tired of it. And I want to be really healthy instead. Before I have open heart surgery like my dad did, you know what I mean? So, doctor said I have perfect BMI. Great news, man. Hey, mister, is there any obvious place to start when collecting investment pokies? There is no obvious place, no. If you're like me and you've watched Pokemon card investments for a long time, anytime a pattern starts to occur, the market will mess that pattern up. So most of the investment money, the day trading money, is made by accident. It was a happy accident that my evolving skies went way up. I didn't know it was going to do that. It was a happy accident that Acerola that I just repoed, I was selling it for 200, now it's 600. I didn't know that was going to happen. And the truth is, I have a memory of that now, and so does everyone else. And unfortunately, you're not going to be able to rely on that memory to make the next bet because the market changes all the time. The market's slippery. Every time you think you know what to invest in, it changes. Every time you think you know what everyone wants, everyone shifts and says, I want this other thing now. So, like base set Charizard, he's the best investment. He's so safe. Sure he is. Well, he was selling at ridiculous prices during Logan Paul. And then he collapsed. And then you're like, all right, he's collapsed. Buy in now. Nope. Because next year he collapsed. And the next year he collapsed in price. And maybe next year he'll collapse again. That's how overpriced he was. So trying to predict the market is like thinking you have a crystal ball. Let's say you're like me and you want to buy Cardos. Ooh, Cardos is so cool. It's so niche. This one will go up in price because nobody talks about it, right? It's so rare. It's so interesting. That doesn't matter. So is the Versus collection. That fell in price almost by half. Didn't matter. So you cannot predict the market because the price on that Cardos might already be too high. When I come into the market, I look at it and I go, oh, this must be the price of a card set that everyone's ignoring, right? But that's not true. It could be the case that the price, in fact, is too high. So you just think you know where the market's at on that card, and only the future will tell you the truth. And so anything you buy is a gamble. Like Modern. There's a lot of stupid Modern cards that are very cheap now. I don't want to buy them. But guess what? Maybe I should. Maybe I should have a big backstock of Sun and Moon Altards. Maybe they all jump by 50%. Those are pretty modern. They're not very old. Why would they jump? So you can't predict the market. You never can. You can just take an educated guess and then cross your fingers. And if you lose, you lose. You got to accept that you lost. So if the market dives, you lost. You have to accept your losses. Scott says, proud of you, mister. People can't be arsed to lose weight. Well, here's the sad part. No matter where you live, countries always have social programs for people dying of obesity. So if there's a lot of obesity in the UK, you get to pay for it. So it's everyone is doing their part if they try to be healthy, because then you will not be a burden on the system. We don't have as much socialism in healthcare over here, though. So I have to pay for being fat. Okay, little break. Oh, F, dude. Going to work, very nice. Acerola stunk. My dad got a kidney stone and made me realize I don't drink enough water. Some of my Versus cards dropped bad. Pokemon card collecting is fascinating. S&M going places. Maybe this is the peak. Maybe now it collapses. But that's the problem. You just don't know. So I just collect what I find fascinating now. I just collect Cardos because I like Cardos. I don't know if it's going to go up in price, maybe. This is the second time up this. Just get my breath for a minute. It's a steep hill. Okay. Fuck. Good morning. Proud of you for continuing the workout. Thanks, man. Why doesn't your wife find a new job or go part-time? Yeah, we're greedy. She makes a lot of money. She knows it too. She likes money. She's like me. She was very poor growing up. She likes how much money she's making. So she could quit. And then she goes, oh, but I'll lose my income. That's the paradox of making too much money. It's a paradox because then you don't want to quit. If they paid her badly, it'd be easy. She looks herself up online. Did you know, for her age, she's in the top 10 percentile of income earners for her age. Top 10. Really shocking. So she does very well on pay. And then she goes, another day. But she's miserable. So she's, oh my God. Okay. The hill's leveling out. Holy. Oh my God. Holy effing A, man. That just goes straight down back there. See that? That's a house. We're above it. Oh. We're still going uphill, but this is the easy part of the hill. I don't really relax till the hill ends. Then my breath comes back. Money makes choices difficult. Yeah, so it's the paradox of making too much money. She's like a prisoner to her desire to make that much. She goes, if I quit, I lose so much, right? So like me, she's a little addicted to the money. You know, we want things in life like we want to be able to retire. We want to have, I don't know, Sea-Doo. We want to have a car. Those all cost tons of money. Tons of money. And here we are. And we just keep working for a couple years. We can have those things. You know what I mean? Well, we could take them now on a loan. We don't want to do loans. Oh my God. All right, there we are. Going downhill, guys. Woo! We are 49 minutes into the walk. We're doing very well. Get a personal trainer. Now, that's a waste of money, man. I don't need a personal trainer to tell me to sweat my ass off and exhaust myself. So I'm sure they help, but I got YouTube, and YouTube's free. So if I need any advice, I'll YouTube it. And that's why I feel public schools are outdated. I don't want to pay for public school anymore. I don't want it taken out of my paycheck. We should have a competitive private school that understands the changes of technologies in the world, and you get a voucher in a voucher system, and your child selects the competitive school that they want to go to. If that school gets more business, it expands because they're doing something right. I want that system. The dumb public school system, we have some of the worst grades in the world, despite spending the most money on our education systems. And then you have other countries that spend way less, like China does, and their children are much smarter. So maybe it has to do with the children themselves, or maybe it's the school system's better, or maybe the culture is better. But one thing's for sure, we outspend them, and they're still smarter than us. So I don't like the idea of, yeah, let's tax Derek some more so he can throw it away on outdated public education that doesn't make children as competitive as they need to be for the future. We are all, I even work weekends when my wife doesn't want me to, but then she really likes the money. I woke up for work. I'm sorry, Cloudy. Mr. Private Schools, eh? private schools, but everyone gets a voucher, and this voucher lets you vote for the school that is giving you the best value. We're going in a direction we don't normally go. I'm going down this road just because if I go that way, the internet's going to cut out. Great job, man. Getting us started is the hardest part. First time I've caught this stream, but you're doing great. Thanks, man. Private schools aren't it, man. It's more about motivating children and giving them a proper upbringing. I kind of agree. Like, all I really had to do in life was emulate my dad. He had 11 kids. So I saw a man who went in and had sex all the time, had plenty of children, fed us all. We never went on welfare. How did he do it? He had a full-time job. He got educated. He went to the Navy. They paid for his education. So you could do that, by the way, many of you. And so he went out, he got his degree, came back, got a real job, and then he worked a second job. And that's how he paid it all. And of course, the second job was his home business. I watched him do it all. And I never forgot this. And when I was young, I didn't appreciate it. He would wake up at 6:45 a.m. He'd get dressed in a suit and tie. He had cologne. Then he'd come home at like 3 or something, was it? 3 or 4. So he'd come back at 3 or 4, take it all off. He'd be in like a diaper, basically. He put on like a red shorts like Mowgli from the Jungle Book. Never forgot this because he was always wearing it. So he puts on like a Mowgli diaper shorts, real short, and he'd go out into the 100-degree blazing Missouri heat, and he'd be out in the garage selling wood online because it was an exotic hardwoods business. Never forgot that. And you know when he was done? He was done when it was black outside. When the sun set and it was 11 p.m. at night, he'd wrap up, come inside, covered head to toe in sawdust, and then he'd just lay down on the floor and sleep. He did that, like 8 years he did that. 8 years, because we increasingly had more and more children in our family. So 8 years he did that. And I just thought, yeah, my dad's hardworking, because I know other people didn't do it. Damn, dude. Guy kind of drove her in the middle of the road once he got past me. So I watched him do that, and he never complained about it. He never complained about it. I never heard him talk about socialism. I never heard him say the government should pay for us. And we were homeschooled. We didn't go to public school. My mom didn't work. She just homeschooled us. He paid for everything, and he never complained. Never. I never once heard him complain. All I have to do is emulate that. And so you guys wonder, it's like, where is all your energy from? Where's your motivation from? Well, I just have to be like my dad. And he was very good at those things. He was bad at being a family man. Maybe that'll be my fate. I don't know. Yeah, he wasn't very good in certain other ways, but I won't go into detail on that because it's pretty bad, I guess. So he was bad in other ways. And anyways, but he was an exceptional worker. He had a lot of energy, and he never complained about how hard he worked, about his situation in life. And yeah, I mean, I wish more people could versus the poor. I see the world as humanity against nature. That's my philosophy. I see it as humanity against nature. So when you don't have enough food to eat, my brain says, well, go farm. Go start your farm up. Where's your farm? What are you working on? How many hours do you spend watching TV, playing on the internet, playing video games? Did you play video games for even 1 hour, but you haven't applied for a new job in an hour? Well, there's your problem in a nutshell. So I see it as humanity fighting their weak nature. We have a weak nature where we're addicted to cookies and we want to sit down and we don't want to work a lot of hours. That's our weakness. And I see rich people as people who kind of figured it out and got over it. See all these deer. But, a lot of people are told all your problems are because of rich people. And maybe some of that's true, by the way. But that mentality will never help you break free. Grow your own farm, you know what I mean? Oh, by the way, we're about to lose connection, just letting you know. If we do, it'll be down for about 3 minutes. Yeah, that is a weakness for me. I spend so much time working on other things. I think sometimes I upset my wife by not giving her enough attention. So, but I'm cognizant of that. I'm aware of it. And I don't think she takes it as a big evil thing. Fun. And people don't like that. I think people basically want heaven on earth today. But it's like, how do you afford that? You can't just afford that. There's not just enough money in the world that we're all going to live in heaven paradise. So it's a competition, truthfully. And you have to get out there and try harder every day and expend more energy. And to the extent that you're willing to make that sacrifice, you will have more success. So if you play games for an hour each day, but you don't apply or work on a new side hustle each day, you have no understanding of the world because you spend all your mind with those right thoughts, and that really helps me. So I'm always focusing on what's important so that I can try and get working on the right things in life. I'm going to be honest, if I had the choice between being a billionaire but have to work 18 hours a day or upper middle class with 8 hours, I'd take 8 hours. Time's precious. That's a very good point. And you are right, actually. There is a diminishing return to money. And I feel like that's what my wife's experiencing right now, Mr. Your Average. So I think she's working a lot more hours than she wants to for good money. And she's of going to Paris or Rome, because I never did those things. And then I'm just going to be old and only have old memories. So she's running up against that right now. And it's really affecting her. Me, I'm a bit masochistic, I think. To be honest, my home, in my opinion, was so abusive, so violent, and such a horrific nightmare that the burden of working my life away isn't a big burden. I just do it. I'm like, this isn't so bad. And so having a tough childhood toughens you up, to be honest. And maybe that's the whole hard times make a strong man, soft times make a weak man, that kind of stuff. So my childhood was hard times, man. And it's starting to rain real hard. As a result, I feel toughened up on the inside from it and capable of denying myself enjoyable things like what I'm doing right now. This is basically painful. My feet hurt. I'm heaving and hoeing. I'd rather be eating a donut and watching Netflix. But I got very good at allowing myself to resist pleasure and focus on pain and all of the... Oh, that sounds like an approaching rain. Let's walk this way. We're walking home, guys. Oh my God. Yeah, it's starting to rain real bad. I may get back just in time. Oh. It's been an hour. Do you hear the rain? Okay. Fuck. I'm not gonna sit. Anyways, great walk. That's 60 minutes, we're done. And now the rain has started. It's almost like the universe knew that I'd finished just now. Okay, guys, I gotta go. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye. Here. Flip this around. See you guys later.